Very quickly, I'm going to walk you through how to do the astronaut project. We've already done it most likely in class, but if for some reason you were sick, missed it, or just plain don't remember what the heck we did, I'm going to walk you through. So you're going to need a couple pictures. First is that astronaut photograph that I have prepped for you on our Dropbox page. I've also got a couple other pictures. I've got a patch, just a regular old kind of like Boy Scout looking patch, not a Patch Adams, just a regular patch. And then I want you to find something that terrifies you. Okay, that pretty much sums it up for me. I'm not a fan of getting a shot. And then I want you to find a background of some sort. I'll use this dude's mouth, which is pretty gross. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and open all those. Okay, and you'll see whenever they open up in different tabs here. At the top, I don't need that one. Okay, alright. So the astronaut picture is going to be our first one. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock that. There we go. I'm going to go ahead over to the magic wand and grab that background. If for some reason it messes up on you, it's probably because of the tolerance. You can adjust that. The lower it is, the less it'll select. The higher it is, the more it'll select. And then you hit delete, and it should go away. So now, next, I'm going to zoom in here on his little armpitio, and what I've got is got this little background here, right? So I'm going to click in there. Look at that. I'm going to actually up this ante here, maybe like 30. Sounds pretty good. And there, that's a little bit cleaner. Now I want to go in here, and I'm going to hold down Shift, and you'll see I get a little plus next to my magic wand there, and that means I can grab more than one thing at once. Not 100% sure if those are holes or that's part of his coat. Oh well, it's gone now. Okay, deselect real quick, and there he is, floating in nothing, right? So we're going to plunk him in this background right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do select all, copy, and paste. There he is. He's massive. I need to shrinky dink him on down. So I'm going to go to image, make that edit, transform, scale, edit, transform, scale. And you get these little bounding boxes. Now if I start shrinking him, it gets all mixed up, but if I hold down Shift, it keeps it nice and clean. So hold down Shift, kind of get him to where I want. Maybe it looks like he's like jumping out of this guy's mouth. He's like, oh gosh, look out, oh, okay, something like that. Alright, looking good so far. We are steadily moving on. Let's avoid that. Okay, so now I've got this patch, right? So I'm going to go ahead and magic wand, but I want the patch selected, and it's not really an easy way grabbing it with that magic wand. So instead I'm going to grab the background. I'm then going to go to select, inverse, whoop, just like that. Now I've grabbed everything but the background. Then I can do copy or Control C or Command C depending on your computer, and paste. There he is, massive. Again, edit and scale. So I'm going to go ahead and scale him on down because I want to put him on the astronaut's shoulder. If you need to, just kind of pinch zoom on in there. Now you're going to notice as you're scaling it, it will definitely get pixelated just like mine is right now. Do not fret, because when you hit enter to lock it in, it comes up pretty good. Still, again, I did take a giant picture and shrink it down, so it's not perfect, but again, that'll be just fine for our purposes. So the next thing we want to do is lay this picture, this patch, back into space, kind of wrap it around his arm. So we need to do a couple things. First, edit, transform, and rotate. And let's rotate it so it's kind of facing the right direction for his arm. The next, again, edit, transform. This time we're going to use, well, really any of these. Distort, skew, warp, or perspective. I'm going to grab perspective, but honestly any of these would work just fine. And I can kind of grab it. You can see how I can kind of bend it, whoa, back into space. It gets pretty skewed, and that's a-okay by me. Something like that. Kind of looks like it's wrapping around a little bit. Oh, perfect. Now, last step is this. Watch. I'm going to grab the magic wand tool. I'm going to click on the astronaut's layer because I want the edge of the astronaut. I click in the background. See how I did that? Just click in the background. It shows me the edge of the astronaut. I'm going to go back to the layer with the patch and hit delete. And I'm deleting the astronaut's background. When I zoom out, it kind of wraps around his arm now. Okay? Quick and easy. Okay. So I'm going to merge that layer down. I can put my mouse over top, right click, and merge down. That mushes those two together, so it looks pretty good. Now, I don't know about you, but mine looks like it has a really crisp edge. It's not very soft. It looks like somebody cut it out. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to grab my magic wand again, click in the background. This time I'm going to do select, modify, feather. I'm going to feather it by about 5 pixels, and here's what's happening. I'll zoom in so you can see. Oops. What's basically happening is this. Whenever I feather it, every 5 pixels it goes in a little bit. See how it kind of smooths it out, right? Kind of smooths out that selection. So I'm going to go ahead and hit delete, and there you go. So it just softens the edge. Now I could hit delete, 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 and it would keep kind of fuzzing away. I don't really want that. But you can see what it's doing. Every 5 pixels, it just kind of just softens that edge just a hair, so that makes it look a little bit more realistic. Okay. Now, last step, the dreaded fear. Oh gosh. Alright, select all, copy, go back to my layer here, and I'm going to paste it on, and it is gigantic, because of course it would be. Transform and scale. Same thing, hold down shift and scale away. Hold down shift, scale away. Now I want this guy to be about the size of my astronaut's helmet. We're going to put him in the reflection, so he has to face his fears, which sounds way deeper than it was intended. Okay, so there's that. Hit enter, and there it is. Now we have to reverse this because it's a reflection, right? So it's got to be inverted. So how could we do that? Well, transform again, edit, transform, and flip horizontal. There it is, reversed. Now if yours has text or something on it, obviously it'll be much more obvious, but again, for the sake of our project, one quick little horizontal is all we need. So make sure to kind of line it up where I want it to. If I can't quite see it, I could always drop down that opacity a little bit and kind of see where I want this to be. Something, ooh, yeah, right there. Now, grab my eraser, the old trusty eraser. Make sure that your hardness is dropped all the way down. Get a halfway decent sized brush and drop that opacity. So all of this is cutting through so we can soften the edge, and that's all we're doing. We're just softening this edge all the way around, getting rid of those hard edges of the original photograph. You have to click more than once because again our opacity is dropped down. That's okay. Something like that. Okay. If you haven't already, feel free to drop the opacity of your actual layer. Oh, too much. Get it so it just kind of fuzzes in there. Oh yeah, perfect. And when I zoom on out, there's my picture, and that's what we're going for. Now, obviously lots more that we can learn, but we just talked a whole lot about how to move things around, about how to use the magic wand tool, hold down shift, and select more than one thing, but we spent a whole bunch of time up in edit and the transform menu, all this stuff in here. So feel comfortable playing around using these a little bit. We're going to be using them quite a lot in the future. Alright, that's it guys. Thanks so much. See ya.